Watchdog journalism does not have room for misconstruement. In-depth research, source citing, and fact-checking are the pillars of serving the people. Unfortunately for some, this is not always the case. Previously, you have seen Skip Bayless's dumbest takes, which speaks for itself.
If I could start a team with either a 22-year-old LeBron James or a 22-year-old Larry Bird, I'm taking Larry Bird.
Exactly. We turn to Skip's former debateaholic, Stephen A. Smith.
Miami Heat are once again NBA champions.
I think Tim Duncan, Greg Popovich, and the San Antonio Spurs pull it off. I'm picking the San Antonio Spurs to win this series.
It's back-to-back titles for the Heat. The 2013 NBA championship resides once again in Miami.
Blame you. I'd probably bet my money on the Spurs, but I use the word probably because, Skip, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. When you go up against a great team, it takes a superstar to close the deal, baby. And it is time. It is apropos. It is perfect timing for LeBron James, King James, to show that he's got some Jordan-esque skills.
And Antonio is back on top once again. The Spurs are the 2014 NBA champions.
I'm going with the Cavs.
What? The Golden State Warriors are the 2015 NBA champions.
I'm picking the San Antonio Spurs to win this series.
It's back-to-back titles for the Heat.
King James to show that he's got some Jordan-esque skills.
And Antonio is back on top once again.
Okay, let's just stop there. This piece is not predictions-based. We watch sports for its unpredictable nature. So those are out. What's in is stuff like this. Look at any NHL box score. What do you see? Wins, losses, and overtime losses. If you're a sports fan, you get it. Teams that go to OT get an automatic point with the winning team capturing 3. The Blackhawks' point streak at the time was a record-setting 30 games. Doesn't matter to Stephen A. Smith.
I don't even know why this is a question. Of course it's the Miami Heat. I'm going to repeat what I said Saturday because maybe evidently people weren't listening. Barry Melrose, somebody.
No hockey love.
Excuse me. When it was 21 games, it was really an 8-game streak. There are 3 ties. I'm sorry, that doesn't count. I'm not into the tie business. This isn't soccer. Last time I checked, when you get to take to the ice, it's to actually win. It's not to tie. So I don't get all of this stuff. When the Stanley Cup champion is crowned, is it because of a tie? No, it's because of a win. Give me a break. In terms of the great winning streaks, there are ties in that record.
Simply amazing, especially considering, with his new salary, $3.5 million can buy you ratings, but it can't buy you understanding sports. However, ties are allowed in certain stadia.
Ben Roethlisberger is not getting any younger.
You don't think that was a wake-up call yesterday?
Well, I think a tie, but I think a loss would have been even better.
Interesting. Does everyone recall Ray Rice? Of course you do. Super Bowl champion running back for the Baltimore Ravens knocks out his girlfriend in an Atlantic City elevator. That's when Stephen A. Smith found a remarkable wording for the problem.
We keep talking about the guys. We know you have no business putting your hands on a woman. I don't know how many times I got to reiterate that. But what I've tried to employ the female members of my family, some of who you all met and talked to and what have you, is that, again, and this is what I've done this all my life, let's make sure we don't do anything to provoke wrong actions.
In stunning fashion, Stephen A. Smith doubled down.
But at the same time, we also have to make sure that we learn as much as we can about elements of provocation. Not that there's real provocation, but the elements of provocation, you got to make sure that you address it, because what we've got to do is do what we can to try to prevent the situations from happening in any way.
As was appropriate, Smith was suspended for 1 week from ESPN because of these imbecilic, victim-blaming comments. But hey, just remember, ladies, behave like a lady and don't stand up for yourself because Stephen A. Smith says so. And if you do, prepare to suffer the consequences.
Football star Ray Rice following his then-fiancée Janae.
Should it be any surprise then that when Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger's name is brought up, Stephen A. Smith states this.
Ben Roethlisberger, to me, has never come across as a bad guy.
Ben Roethlisberger may be a Super Bowl champion, but Stephen A. should never utter those words. Here's why.
The young woman who accused Ben Roethlisberger of sexual assault said she tried to get away from the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback and made it clear she did not want to have sex with him.
The pattern of misogyny continued. When then Washington fans found RG3's wedding registry online, they bought him and his fiancée gifts. Griffin thanked fans via Twitter. One thing led to another, and Stephen A. blamed the fiancé. Understand something. You're a woman. You're messing with a high-profile, I shouldn't say messing, you're involved with a high-profile dude. He has no business being a part of the wedding registry. Handle it yourself. He's RG3. No, to you, he's Robert. Whatever it is that you call him, I believe her name is Jennifer, is it? Whatever her name is, what I'm saying is you handle that. Remember the clown that was elected to the Supreme Court?
I liked beer. I still like beer. Had beers, have some beers. One beer, drink beer, drinks beer, drank beer, and drinking beer.
Stephen A., who has been told to not be as political by the new hierarchy of ESPN, well, he gave us a taste.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. But my God, are y'all lucky I'm not a political pundit. Oh, would I be going off about it? High school. Supreme Court Justice, nominee, and they talk about something that might have happened in high school. Lord have mercy this country.
Let's just transcribe this to make sure we didn't miss anything. Oh, would I be going off about it? High school Supreme Court Justice nominee, and they talk about something that might have happened in high school. Lord have mercy on this country. A personal favorite. In the lockout-driven 2011 NBA season, LeBron James jokingly tweets at ESPN's John Clayton about giving the NFL a go. As we're aware, LeBron James is a protected asset in the NBA. The last great crossover stars were Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders. Nevertheless, Stephen A. Smith, hot and bothered.
My whole point with LeBron James is that he just needs to be quiet. You need to focus, okay, on getting a deal done, getting a collective bargaining agreement reached, so you can get back on the court and make up to millions upon millions of fans who watched you wet the bed in the fourth quarter. That's what you need to be doing. I don't want to hear anything about football.
How about Michael Sam, the first openly gay NFL player who registered 10 sacks as a senior? When drafted, Sam kissed his boyfriend, a proud moment for the LGBTQ community. Stephen A. Smith, who is known to praise his own sermons on Twitter, went on First Take and spewed BS on the subject.
I don't believe that anybody should be ostracized. I don't believe anybody should be violated. I think it's important to recognize that that doesn't mean that people have a right to be comfortable, with you.
It's a shame that a company like Disney, which is breaking historical barriers in cinema, will condone this rhetoric. He's even used his platform to threaten NBA players. When Smith reported Kevin Durant is headed to the Lakers, Durant disputed it. That's when Smith went rogue live on air.
You want to start something? That's just not the wise thing to do. You don't want to make an enemy out of me. And I'm looking right into the camera, and I'm going to say it again. You do not want to make an enemy out of me.
And then, to no surprise, did it again, where even his ESPN colleagues called him out.
I'm showing you that I have a platform where I'm not going to back up from you. If words hurt you before, imagine what I could do now. Because you've given us the
Stephen A., that feels like a threat. Stephen, let him go.
Exactly. Stephen A. Smith has quoted Donald Trump in The New Yorker, sided with Malcolm Jenkins over Eric Reid and Colin Kaepernick, and displayed his true colors of a disdain for inclusivity and layers of victim blaming. His voice is carried on multiple outlets and airwaves, microcosmic of his attention-seeking daily rants that suffocate the masses through his high-pitched notes of gasbaggery. ESPN cut hundreds of employees to keep Stephen A. Smith's mega million-dollar salary when the purge hit the company. Like those who received their pink slips from ESPN, we, the sports audience, deserve better. And I hope Stephen A. Smith's the divisiveness does not fall on deaf ears in Bristol, Connecticut.